First of all, I think probably the shallow side of me would say Angela is so hot, but more than how beautiful she is, she's so beautiful on the inside. She's one of the kindest women I've ever met.
I would say that she is the most soulful, beautiful, kind, compassionate, driven, resilient, generous person I know. She makes my heart spin on a dime, and I am the luckiest person.
Angela and I have always known each other, so I can't recall the time we met, but we've known each other for probably 25 years. I have always had a crush on her. Had a crush. She was so pretty, and always, why don't you date me? Why not me?
Jenny and I first met, I don't know, I can't remember the exact date, but I'm thinking it was about 20 years ago. And a neighbor had invited me over for like a party. She was inviting over a bunch of different people. In walks Jenny, and she's, this very muscular, very attractive, woman, long blonde hair. And I think she came right over to me, or someone introduced us, and she picked me up and like swirled me around. Angela Johnson, nice to meet you. That's what I recall. That was my first experience with Jenny Lorbeck.
The story of our first date is complicated. We hung out as friends and got to know each other, and it was beautiful because the friendship led into this feeling of like, oh my God, when Angela's in a good place, I wanna be her first date. So we were having drinks one day at Bernie's, and I told her if she was ever ready and in a place where she could have a first date, that I could be first in line. So I don't actually know when that was, but I remember the moment when I asked for a future date.
So our first date, I called Jenny to ask if she was available to go have a cocktail, and she was like, sure, absolutely, I'd love to go get a drink.
Angela was at home and I was at home, and I'd just gotten home from a Cubs game, probably a little tipsy. And I'm in my pajamas watching TV, and she texted me and said, hey, you want to meet for a glass of wine? It's a nice night. Or are you already settled in? I'm like, oh, no. I'm in my pajamas. I'm ready. I'm up. I'll Uber over.
And my heart was just pounding because I'm about to have my first date with Jenny Lorbeck, who, oh, by the way, I never thought I would go on a single date with her in my lifetime, because I always thought that she was a player.
I found out recently that it's because she didn't want to be one of Jenny's girls. She thought I was a player.
An hour or so together, and we were having cocktails, of course, and people around us were, certainly really friendly, and so were the bartenders, although there was one guy who was kind of acting a little bizarre. And so I think I was on my second glass of wine, and I started to feel like really, really weird. And I was like, you know what, I'm really sorry, but I think that we've got to get going. But before we did that, I completely just laid one right on her, right there at the bar. our first kiss on our first date. I loved it.
She has half a glass of wine. I give her a meaningful rock for healing, and she was so touched. She gave me a hug. Pull out of the hug, and she starts making out with me. I was like, what? Why, is this appropriate? Probably not.
And then after that, I'm like, I think I need to go. And she's like, what? And so I said, yeah. And as a matter of fact, I don't think that it would be really good for me to drive. So I need you to drive me home.
So it turned out she didn't feel well seconds later, and she had been roofied by the bartender. So our first kiss was an accident, but it was fun.
My favorite physical attribute of her are really like her eyes. Her eyes are so soulful, and when she looks at you, you are the only person, and you are the only thing that she is paying attention to.
Well, it's probably her eyes, although I love her booty. But her eyes, I remember while we were friends, and even before we were friends, I'd see her picture on Facebook, and I would, tap it and zoom in to her beautiful eyes, and I just felt like I could see her even with a picture on Facebook. I could see into those eyes. They're beautiful.
I don't know. I mean, she told me she likes my calves. That's an interesting question. I don't know, maybe my eyes too.
Angela is special to me because of her ability to nurture. And I'm not one who allows or likes to be nurtured. It actually usually scares me away. But Angela is so nurturing and takes care of me and my soul in a way that nobody ever has. It's quite amazing.
So Jenny and my mom and I went out to San Diego to celebrate my graduating from my doctoral program in Chinese medicine. And that night Jenny had made plans for us to go out to dinner together. And at the table, before we even got any cocktails, she was sitting to the right of me and stood up, and I said, well, where the hell are you going? And so she walked behind me and got down on one knee, and I was so shocked. So she proposed to me the night of my doctoral graduation at a beautiful restaurant in La Jolla, California. And it is gonna go down as one of the most special nights of my life. It was beautiful, and I was really glad that my mom was able to be there. And Mom, I'm so sorry that you aren't able to be with us for the wedding, and Jenny's parents, and and everybody. So I just wanted to share that this isn't what we had hoped for, but we'll all be together as soon as we're on the other side of all of this. So thanks for your understanding and love and support.
I think each year you get to know each other a lot more, and since we're both over 50, just settling into together and growing old together, I can't wait to age with Angela and enjoy life at a nice, easy pace, and have fun and laugh and hold her hand.
There are so many things, right, that I'm obviously looking forward to after we get married. But I think the thing that I love about us the most, and one of the many reasons why I love you so much, is that we are very intentional about life. We're going to make it happen. So whatever we set out to do, I am confident with I'm 100% confident that we're going to make that happen. And the beautiful thing about us, and one of the things that I feel so blessed about, is that we have a family and a community of people that are going to be with us to support us in our amazing, amazing journey together. So that's what I'm looking most forward to after we get married.
Sunny days are better with you. Your love is freedom. Your lips hang over mine. Pinch me if I'm dreaming. Can we get away together? Let's run.